actually.
Next time, I'm not just going to jump out the first place I see.
I built that house from the ground up, basically, so.
I'm going to think before I move.
Ready to move forward.
News 40 is broadcasting live from the German American Bank studio in downtown Bowling Green. Join us weekdays for the latest news, sports, and weather from across the region. News 40, because local matters.
Not again. You don't mess with underground power lines.
Should have contacted 811. They'll mark those utility lines free.
Yeah, but this guy ain't real bright.
Neither is the neighborhood.
Know what's below 811 before you dig.
I'm ready.
Reba's the only one with a block left.
Better be nice to me. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to block.
Don't block me!
I'm no dummy.
The Voice, new Monday and Tuesday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
20 years ago, I escaped from you.
And then you kidnapped me.
What's in the basement?
Gabrielle! Gabrielle!
Found, Tuesday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
I'm attorney Deborah Brose. I am committed to my clients across South Central Kentucky. But don't just take it from me. If you have any trouble receiving Social Security benefits, call our office today for a free consultation.
Oh, look, glorious Progresso soup. So delicious. Ooh, tender chicken. The anticipation is killing me. Just pour it in something already. Yes, this precious heirloom will do just fine. Progresso soup. You simply must taste it.
I'm Morgan Hoover. Join us weeknights for WNKY News 40 at 5.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for News 40 at 5. I'm Morgan Hoover.
And I'm meteorologist Darius Mack. Thanks for joining us here on this Finally Friday.
Finally Friday, and it's finally cooler outside,
It's cooler, and it gets even cooler, Morgan.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it is going to be chilly. Talk about October. It's feeling like fall. It's going to taste like fall. It's going to even sound like fall. I would call this sweater weather. Let's take a look at conditions right now. We're looking at the Smiths Grove Tower cam towards I-65 and points towards the west. You're noticing that we do have the sunshine that is out there right now. We started off this morning with clouds. As far as things go, though, we're checking out those current conditions as far as those temperatures into the 70s, and we also have those winds flowing in from the north and west. Coming up in my complete forecast, I'm tracking that big time chill on the way. But for now, Morgan, I'll send it back over to you.
All right, Darius. Well, the Kentucky man charged with the 2015 death of Crystal Rogers is making his first court appearance this week. The mother of 5 disappeared 8 years ago. Brooks Houck had long been considered a suspect, but wasn't charged until last week. But there was a bombshell in the courtroom. The prosecutor said there's new information that could link Houck's family to the death of Rogers' father.
What was expected to be a routine arraignment for Brooks Houck Thursday turned into anything but when the prosecution dropped a bombshell. Shane Young told the judge his team was waiting on tests for a firearm he believes was used to murder Crystal Rogers' father, Tommy Ballard.
A firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle. We know it's the same caliber. There's 5 criteria that they're looking at, and so far it's matched 4 of the 5 criteria.
That's Nick Houck, a former Bardstown police officer and Brooks Houck's brother. He's not facing any charges. This is the first time there has been a possible link between the murders of Crystal Rogers and her father.
We thought it all along, but after prosecuting Shane made that statement, we feel a whole lot better.
Till Ballard, Tommy Ballard's father, joined Rogers' mother, Sherry Ballard, and her children in court Thursday. Houck joined the hearing via video from the Hardin County Jail. After a not guilty plea was entered on his behalf, his attorney, Brian Butler, argued Houck was a low flight risk and asked his $10 million bond be reduced to a $500,000 cash bond.
He has family that love him. He has friends that love him. His son is here. His business is here. He cannot and he will not leave, and he's proven that.
But Young argued the high bond was justified, showing the combined tax assessments for the 3 companies owned by Houck at more than $8 million.
It's $500,000 to an individual who is a multimillionaire when you are looking at the rest of your life in prison. is not a lot to pay.
And while the judge did not immediately rule on bond, Rogers' family is hopeful Brooks Houck will remain behind bars.
He deserves where he's at, and he needs to be there for the rest of his life. That's what I'm hoping for Brooks Houck. Yeah.
While Houck is charged with murder and tampering with evidence in the death of Crystal Rogers, it's important to note neither he nor any member of his family have been charged in the murder of Rogers' father. One more local news now. As Darius said earlier, the signs of fall are here. Halloween decorations, pumpkins, and that crisp autumn air you've been craving is coming this weekend. You may have even noticed leaves starting to fall. The Bowling Green City Arborist says that's due to our lack of rain. Despite so many signals of our incoming season, the highly anticipated colors of the changing leaves will take a little longer to arrive.
The most important factor for fall color is actually the day length. That's why it's a little bit kind of predictable. Around the end of October every year, it starts hitting northern Kentucky, and we're a week or two later. So the end of October, beginning of November is when we'll see peak fall color.
Weaver says that our summer drought could play a part in how vibrant our fall colors will be. A lack of rain can decrease the vibrancy of leaf colors, which means we could see less reds, scarlets, and purples. You can find more information about the changing colors of the season in our area during Tree Week. That begins October 9th. Visit bgky.org for event dates and times. The Glasgow Police Department made their way to Gorn Park this afternoon for a fun community event. The Faith in Blue Cookout allowed visitors to have lunch and chat with police officers. A bounce house and face painting were available for the kids. Hot dogs and chips were provided. Glasgow police officers say they were honored to be able to spend their afternoon with the community.
We're very fortunate, to try to build that bond with the community and the police department, and we continue to do that from year to year.
This meetup is part of National Faith in Blue Weekend, which aims to build better relationships between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Listen to this. A recent report shows that more Kentuckians are choosing cremation rather than traditional burial. This change in practice is reported by the Cremation Association of America, represents not only the cost of traditional burial, but also a shift in religious practices. David Bevel at J.C. Kirby & Sons in Bowling Green says that often families that are spread across the U.S. find it easier to gather for a cremation rather than a time-sensitive burial.
I think the age, the older people had more traditional burials, things like that. So that's kind of changing now. The young people are seeing different options, and cremation is one of those options. But a lot of factors go into it. I just don't think it's just one.
Even though the number of cremations in Kentucky has risen sharply since 2011, it still sits well below the number in other states with larger populations. That's according to officials. The deadline to register to vote is just days away, and state officials say they are seeing an increase in voter registration. Secretary of State Michael Adams announced that in September, nearly 9,000 Kentuckians registered to vote in the upcoming November election. But don't worry, if you have not registered or you would like to update your registration, you still have time. That deadline to register is next Tuesday, October 10th at 4 o'clock. For more information on registering or updating your voting status, you can visit govote.ky.gov. Well, still to come on News 40 at 5. Pregnancy can be one of the greatest challenges for women, but for women suffering from obesity, it can actually be life-threatening. Now, a team of local researchers are looking to fix that in just a bit. But first, meteorologist Darius Mack is back with a full look at our forecast. That's coming up right after this.
WNKY News 40, broadcasting live from the German American Bank Studio in downtown Bowling Green.
When Daniel Cameron says he absolutely supports bringing back Matt Bevin's ruthless Medicaid plan, Cameron threatens to take away coverage from over 95,000 Kentuckians and punish working parents.
This sounds very similar to something that Governor Matt Bevin tried.
Well, absolutely. But when Cameron said he'd back Bevin's war on teachers and take taxpayer money from public schools to give to private schools instead, he'd punish Kentucky's kids. Cameron's absolutely wrong for Kentucky.
I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. I was 12. Anyone who believes there should be no exceptions for rape and incest could never understand what it's like to stand in my shoes. This is to you, Daniel Cameron. To tell a 12-year-old girl she must have the baby of her stepfather who raped her is unthinkable. I'm speaking out because women and girls need to have options. Daniel Cameron would give us none.
Everyone loves more of a good thing.
And more.
And Miss Moore was no different. As her name suggested, she loved more.
More?
More.
So when Miss Moore was injured, she called Morgan & Morgan. With more lawyers, more offices, and more than $15 billion recovered, she didn't have to ask for more anymore. When you're injured, you deserve more.
One more.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Horses, bourbon, and the great outdoors. That's Kentucky. Original, majestic, and wide open. In one day, visit legendary distilleries, explore horse country, or put on your hiking shoes and get out there. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
We're back with meteorologist Darius Mack. Darius, it's finally feeling like fall out there. I actually went out to Jackson's Orchard earlier today. I just felt that air, and I just needed a pumpkin.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's great. We were talking about pumpkin picking weather, sweater weather, and that's all really, you're really going to notice that by Saturday especially, because I'm going to be tracking a big-time chill that's on the way. Temperatures today, though, made it to right around average with highs today in the middle 70s. We take a look at radar. It is a clean sweep out there. That's been the case. We had some showers that moved through yesterday. It was just plain old rain showers, bringing just light rain amounts across the area. And so far, radar's pretty dry and quiet. That is the current view. As far as things go across the region, courtesy of the Kentucky Mesonet sites there, you're looking at Monroe County. We have lots of sunshine across the region. Also taking a look at the WKU farm. Both thermometers reading at 75 degrees right now. It's been a pretty fantastic day out there. Check out the current temperature spread. Generally got those numbers into the middle 70s, and it's 74 in Glasgow and in Edmonton this hour. Those winds are flowing in from the north and west. It's a bit of a breeze out there, right around the 10-mile-an-hour range is where we have most of those sustained wind speeds at this time. It's a bit breezy out there. You're going to notice it's going to be breezy tomorrow as well. Here's the chilly air that's going to be ushered in. It's the cooler Canadian air that's going to be pulled by that trough that's going to be ushering in that second wave of cooler air our way, and that's when we are going to be noticing the chill. Meanwhile, there's the frontal boundary that did bring us the showers yesterday. Still got some showers lingering there towards the Appalachian Mountains and across West Virginia. In Virginia. As far as things go, here's what we can expect in the forecast. It's trending drier for us. I'm talking about a huge dip and frigid overnight low temperatures. That's all associated with this dip in the jet stream that's really going to usher in that chilly air. We're talking about numbers running 10 to 15 degrees below where we should be. We should normally be right around 76 degrees, which is where we were today. But as we go in store for tomorrow, temperatures running well below normal, even as we go over the next few days. Futurecast to help you plan out the rest of your evening. We got a few passing clouds out there that will drift through our skies. Otherwise, again, you're going to notice the chillier air that settles in, especially by your Saturday morning. Could be talking about morning temperatures into the 40s and even some 30s out there. We go throughout the day for your Saturday. It's a breezy day, temperatures into the 60s. It'll still feel like the 50s though, even during the hottest part of the day, with lots of sunshine, so chilly sunshine in store, and then temperatures dropping down into the 40s, eventually 30s out there. Can't rule out some areas of patchy frost as a possibility early in the day for your Sunday. We go throughout your Sunday afternoon. Things are still trending drier for us, but we're still going to remain pretty cool as well. Check out the next 7 days. Although we got that chilly air for the weekend, it's not going to last too long because I'm going to be tracking temperatures on the rebound. We're going to be back somewhere near 70 by Tuesday, upper 70s to near 80 by your Wednesday. Your Thursday, can't rule out some rain chances that'll arrive. But notice as we go over the next stretch of days, we're going to be pretty dry
dry for the most part. Watching a system that may be bringing us some showers and thunderstorms by Thursday, and maybe a few lingering shower and storm chances by Friday, with temperatures again recovering back into the 70s. Could see 80 degrees by Friday of next week. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to remain pretty chilly as we go over the next couple of nights. Remember, you can scan to plan your day by scanning that QR code at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Now, here's a look at tonight's primetime lineup.
The fresh timer starts the minute a tomato gets picked. That's why at Kroger, we shorten the time from harvest to home. So no matter how you shop, you'll have more time to enjoy your fresh produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games this weekend. Have your picks, parlays, and popcorn ready. And turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
Do you have what it takes to be the sole survivor? Join WNKY News 40 October 17th for the Survivor Casting Call at Bowling Green Ballpark. To learn more and see if you have what it takes, visit WNKY.com/Soki Survivor.
Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill.
Just rockin' and rollin', baby. Come back tomorrow.
We got you all fixed up. Got it all fixed up for you, ma'am. Let there be light, ma'am.
Looks like she finally called JB.
At Kroger, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Obesity in pregnant women is a growing trend in Kentucky. A local mom and WKU associate professor is taking steps to change that. Tonight, how a new app could change health outcomes for both mothers and their newborns. In South Central Kentucky, 2 out of 3 women enter pregnancy overweight. And 90% of pregnant women are not meeting the recommended physical activity guidelines. That's why Dr. Rachel Tinius, an exercise science professor at Western Kentucky University and a mom, created an app to solve that problem.
We're officially the most dangerous developed nation to give birth in. A lot of it has to do with things like obesity. Even mental health plays into a lot of these numbers. And as an exercise physiologist, when I look at all of those factors, there's one thing that sticks out in my mind that can help all of those, and that's being physically active and having a healthy lifestyle.
Local obstetrician Dr. Joseph Gass says being overweight while pregnant can pose a lot of health risks to not only the mother, but the baby as well.
There's kind of an epidemic of obesity in our country right now. There's even risks for miscarriage, stillbirth rate increases with level of obesity as well. So there's a lot of reasons why it'd be good to keep your weight down and activity levels up during pregnancy.
That's where Bumped Up comes in. It's a health app developed by trained exercise scientists from Western Kentucky University to help pregnant and postpartum women become more active, offering features like tailored workouts, social support, and nutrition education, making it easy for new or expecting mothers to get healthy at home. As a pregnant woman myself, I wanted to test it out.
You don't need any equipment, so you can do it at home with other kids, whatever works for you. So that's something that's really important to us, to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. You don't need anything fancy.
That's great.
So for a few of the exercises today, I thought we could use some soup cans. What do you
That's
think
perfect.
about that?
Everyone has soup cans, right?
Right. Find some expired soup and let's hit it. 4. Pretty easy. Yeah. 5.
So is it good to do, kind of light, moderate exercises when you're pregnant or even, newly postpartum?
Yeah, so I would say newly postpartum, you're going to want to keep it light as you're recovering, depending on what type of delivery you've had. Okay. During pregnancy, you really can do whatever feels good. If you're somebody who likes intense exercise and that feels good to you, you can probably feel pretty comfortable doing that. If you're new to exercise, if maybe you're deciding, I'm going to use this app, I'm going to try this, do light to moderate and get started that way. But for the most part, when you're pregnant, it's, people view pregnancy as, an illness or that you're so restricted, and it's really not. It can be an opportunity to make a good change in your lifestyle. Yeah.
The Bumped Up app is set to be released next week. You can visit bumpedupapp.com to be added to the wait list and receive a 15-day free trial. Well, Kaiser Permanente employees returned to the picket line for a third day of strikes today. About 75,000 medical workers from Kaiser Permanente facilities went on a planned 3-day strike, which started on Wednesday and put pressure on one of the leading healthcare networks to reach an agreement on a new contract. It is considered the largest walkout in the U.S. Healthcare workers have demands that include higher pay to keep up with the cost of living, a $25 minimum wage, and a reformed bonus structure. Well, still to come on News 40 at 5, though the September jobs report paints a better than expected picture for the economy. When we come back, we'll learn why shoppers can't exhale just yet. Stay with us.
Home is more than a house. Wherever you are in your journey of homeownership, German American Bank is here to support you. Our team of dedicated mortgage loan professionals can help you with lending solutions featuring low or no down payment, assistance for closing costs and improvement projects, or even loans specifically for first-time home buyers. We're here to tell you, homeownership is achievable. German American Bank, member FDIC.
This is my dad, Audie, and he is absolutely precious.
When it came to making some life-changing decisions for my mother, we found the folks here at Massey Springs to be so helpful.
They had that personal touch that we were looking for, and we could tell it was the perfect place for our mom.
We found the folks here at Massey Springs compassionate and caring.
Massey Springs was definitely the right choice for me and my dad.
Massey Springs Senior Living. Here, we're family. Schedule your tour with us today.
Hey y'all, it's Bree with the Pie Queen's Pantry. Don't forget to tune in this week. We're getting ready for Halloween season and we're gonna make some spooky sprinkled cookies. See you this week on the Pie Queen's Pantry.
Inside the octagon, no one fights like me. But outside, no one fights for the people like Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Morgan & Morgan, the official law partner of UFC. Fighting is in our DNA.
The Warren County Public Library presents Becoming Trader Joe author Patty Civillari, Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the Lisa Rice Library. Free tickets are limited and available at warrenpl.org.
Spread the word, not the germs. Reminder to wash your hands for at least the full 20 seconds with soap and warm water. Together, let's keep our family and friends safe.
Sundays are for football. WNKY 40 is your go-to for the NFL. Watch games all day on WNKY, CBS 40, and NBC 40.
With the start of October, we know the holiday season is right around the corner, and already there are growing concerns. Airlines will not be ready for the influx of travelers. According to a new travel report, flyer complaints are hitting new highs this year. Ivan Rodriguez reports.
Holiday travelers could be in for another rough go at the airport this year. A new report from U.S. PERG found flying has not gotten much better since a highly problematic 2022.
Flying is still really stressful, filled with way too many delays, cancellations, fees that people don't expect, lost baggage, damaged wheelchairs, all of it.
And the threat of government shutdown could make it worse. The new deadline for Congress to fund the government hits just as travel is expected to pick up. While TSA agents and air traffic controllers are considered essential, they would be working without pay.
then you would start seeing people call off work because they might go choose to do something like DoorDash or something so they could bring in money.
To avoid major headaches, travel experts have a few suggestions. Book directly through the airlines. Try to take an early morning flight. Download your airline's app. It's the fastest way to stay up to date on your flight status and to make any changes if necessary. If problems do happen, know that you do have rights. Reach out to the airlines first. If they do not offer a meaningful resolution, you can file a complaint with the Department of Transportation. Teresa Murray with U.S. PERG says the key is to follow through.
Sometimes you think that they're just trying to wear you down and wait you out. If you haven't heard something in 30 days, then follow up. Because nothing ever is going to change unless people are willing to speak up for their rights.
If you plan to travel by car this holiday season, you may want to look at what company manufactures your vehicle's airbags. Federal safety regulators are pushing to recall 52 million airbags because of the potential threat to motorists. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says airbag models made by ARC Automotive and Delphi Automotive Systems could explode. At least 2 people have died in the U.S. and Canada. There have been 7 serious injuries since 2016. These potentially dangerous airbags can be found in models made by Ford, GM, and Stellantis, as well as most major foreign manufactured brands. Amazon is taking its business to outer space. A rocket carrying a pair of satellites blasted off this afternoon from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The project is part of Amazon's plan to build a network of more than 3,200 satellites in low Earth orbit, which will make high-speed internet access possible in even the most remote corners of the globe. Amazon plans to begin testing the network with customers by the end of next year. Well, some better than expected economic news coming from the September jobs report. While the economy continues to defy expectations, consumers shouldn't expect a drop in grocery prices anytime soon. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
In a September surprise, the U.S. economy added 336,000 jobs last month, nearly doubling economists' predictions and easing recession fears. President Biden crediting his administration's policies.
It's no accident. It's Bidenomics. We're growing the economy from the middle out, the bottom up, not the top down.
Republican critics are slamming Bidenomics, and a September NBC News poll showed just 37% of voters surveyed approve of how the president has handled the economy. Experts point to lingering inflation.
When you are still paying higher fuel prices, higher food prices, generally higher prices for just about everything in your life, that starts to weigh on you. And by the way, you don't forget that very quickly.
The strong monthly jobs report only adding to concerns that in order to keep reining in inflation, the Federal Reserve may hike interest rates once again, raising the cost of borrowing to cool the economy. Others see reason for optimism.
I think it's sustainable because you saw wage growth slow down this month.
The strongest job growth came in the leisure and hospitality, government, and healthcare sectors. President Biden today urging members of Congress not to put economic progress at risk.
It's time to stop fooling around. House Republicans, it's time for you to do your job.
As the threat of a government shutdown looms once again next month. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And without a House Speaker, Congress cannot fully function, and we're not any closer to finding Representative Kevin McCarthy's replacement after the Republican Speaker Forum scheduled for next week is canceled. Fox News announced this morning that leading Republican candidates for Speaker of the House would be interviewed on air. Majority Speaker Steve Scalise and Congressman Jim Jordan and Kevin Hern were listed. But following a fierce backlash, all 3 announced they would not be participating in the forum, and Fox canceled the show. The House Republican Conference is scheduled to have an in-person meeting on Monday night and then a Speaker Candidates Forum on Tuesday. Well, stay with us. We'll have a final look at your forecast coming up right after this.
I usually vote Republican, but I'm also voting for Andy Beshear. I definitely feel that Kentucky's moving forward under Andy's leadership. He brings great ideals to the floor. Andy's the guy that's been bringing the 2 parties together. Beshear's brought a lot of good jobs to the state of Kentucky. He makes sure that the police have everything they need to keep us safe. Andy cut the income tax. That's a big deal, huge deal. I voted for Trump because I felt he was putting the American people first. I'm going to support Andy because I do feel he's putting Kentucky first.
Just rockin' and rollin', baby. Cut back tomorrow.
We got you all fixed up. Got it all fixed up for you, man. Let there be light, ma'am.
Looks like she finally called JB.
I'm waking up my day. So let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on. Keep the morning moving right along. Yeah, I'm waking up my day. News 40 sunrise way. I'm waking up my day. WNKY. Yeah, when you want the force to get you out the door. I'm waking up my day. The News 40 sunrise way.
Weekday morning starting at 6.
Nice. DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Kentucky. You'll be so dialed into every play that you forget to eat your wings. You made my wings cold, DraftKings. Flailing your arms like you can disrupt the free throw. Miss, fool! And a home run will have you crying like it's the birth of your child. I'm so happy.
DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Kentucky. New customers, download the app now and bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Because life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Yeah.
Saturdays are for football. WNKY 40 is your college football headquarters. Watch games today on WNKY CBS 40 and NBC 40.
Check out tomorrow's highs, only in the 60s as I am tracking a blast of chilly air. We, of course, got those chilly temperatures, and as we go over the next 7 days, we're going to stay pretty dry for the most part, Morgan.
All right, Darius, good to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you at home. We'll see you at 6 over on CBS.